another potential US banking crisis, our brand new copy trade, and some beautiful price action coming up right now. Okay, good morning, you beautiful human beings. Guys, this is a pre-recorded session. As you guys can see, I'm up a little bit earlier than usual just to make sure we can deliver this to you guys. We got some really important meetings this morning we have to get to. There's just so much happening in the markets that I really wanted to make sure we get some time to speak about. Now, obviously, first and foremost, I am super excited what's happening currently with our signal service, with our copy trade system. If you're part of Premium Plus, things are only going to keep getting better across the board for every single one of you. Now, it's obviously a challenging time for the team. Anytime we sort of roll out new systems, it's obviously quite challenging to juggle all these new systems and processes that we need to change in order to serve every single one of you. So we appreciate your support. We appreciate your feedback as always. We were up about 4% yesterday on our copy trade system across the board, which is obviously amazing. We still have USD JPY that is running and floating, but we do hope to continue killing it. Now, it's also to be said, that's post NFP Monday. If you guys remember, Mondays after NFP are always a little bit tricky. Now, there are a few other things in the markets that are obviously contributing to some of the volatility, which is what I want to speak about this morning. So speaking about a potential US banking crisis, right? Now, last week, there was a company called Bancorp, right? They produced some of their earnings and they fell immensely short. But outside of actual, them falling short, it was revealed that a large portion of their exposure was based on the US housing system, right? And smaller and regional smaller local US banks were most exposed due to potential people failing to basically pay their bonds, right? This resulted in Powell essentially being on a news network for an interview on Sunday evening where he spoke a little bit deeper into the heart of the issue and basically said, you know what, it's not a big issue. It's not a repeat of Silicon Valley Bank that we saw obviously pretty much cause a big banking crisis issue around the world and a lot of scares across the board. Now, I've been through the article, we'll share this with you guys, but there's just something important and obviously quite interesting I want you guys to know about. So there was obviously a report that wrote about this from Yahoo Finance, and the one thing that he mentioned here is with regards to a perfect storm. Now, a perfect storm situation would happen in the event that inflation keeps going up, right? Forcing the Federal Reserve, Powell and his team, to obviously keep rates higher for longer, meaning not reducing interest rates as we've been discussing. And the US economy essentially enters a recession. Now, again, when rates are too high for too long, they're basically strangling the economy to slow down inflation. If inflation stays up, they have to keep those rates high for longer, and the US economy could enter a recession. But borrowers, guys that have credit, obviously start defaulting on that credit. Now, quite interestingly, small local US banks have about a 44% exposure to this bond issue, while larger banks with over 100 billion in managed assets have a much smaller risk or exposure to these commercial and real estate issues, only around about 14%. So this is definitely going to be interesting. I definitely think there's going to spark continued discussion across the board about, the banks and how secure they are. It must be noted that Powell said multiple times, right, this will be manageable for the banks and it's a minor issue, shouldn't be an issue. We should be able to mitigate that, right? He said that a total of 3 or 4 times in that particular interview. However, there are a few other interesting things that I want to point out here, right? Now, if you guys know and remember, anytime a big Wall Street entity, specifically a money-hungry place like Goldman Sachs, says, hey, they see NVIDIA going higher even further, right? That article right there. The question that I have for you is, why would they be giving a tip to the public that this would be happening, right? 2 reasons, right? First reason being that they stir public interest in that stock or that asset. So people subconsciously, or consciously choose to purchase into NVIDIA, right? And then what would their end goal be? The end goal would be to short that stock. So we've obviously had this in the past. We've discussed in great detail, what was happening on Reddit in terms of the big short, the big squeeze on something like GameStop. And this might be something very similar. So I'm always very cautious when I see a big Wall Street name publicly promoting a stock and saying, hey, this is what's happening, right? If they were clever and if they were purely looking at the stock from an investor's perspective and trying to get ROI for their investors, they would keep quiet about it and let it run. So I'd love to see what's going to happen in the video. We're obviously going to follow that. Now, stock rally stalls after Powell chills rate cut hopes. Now, we obviously discussed this as well in great detail yesterday. One of the biggest takeaways we saw from that Fed announcement or that meeting was that Powell pretty much said that March cuts pretty unlikely that's going to end up happening. So obviously there's quite a bit to be discussed there. We've obviously covered in great detail. If you're part of DVDM markets, you pretty much have a great understanding of where we currently are. Now, looking at the economic climate for today, calendar in terms of what's busy going on, there's not too much coming out from a data perspective. Not too many items are going to rock the market right here, specifically not high impact items. So nothing too much to really worry about. Now, from a pure charting and price action perspective, right, I'd like to just quickly take you guys through really quickly what happened yesterday in the markets. Some of the positions we looked at, some of the positions we took, and I think you guys will find some pretty interesting things. Now, before I get to gold, I really want to just talk through US30, right, and why a lot of people are scalping US30. Well, we're going to start to integrate some slightly longer term trades on the US30, right, slightly longer term. So if you are a premium plus client and you have copy trade and you see a US30 long position or short position on your account over multiple days, I just want to give you a little bit of peace of mind as to why that's happening. And we are going to start taking a little bit more of a swing trade type direction, holding trades over days, weeks, months, etc. But just to give you a little bit of an idea of why that is, right? This is US30, right? A lot of people seem to think it's completely random in its market structure, but really when you get down to it, you start to see some really good structure here, right? US30 in most cases moves from a bull to a bear market fairly easy. That transition happens quite easily, right? We don't move from a bull market to a sideways market or, ranging market. We generally move from a bull to bear market pretty easy, right? Now, I want to take you into the start of November. Start of November was an amazing month for Wall Street. Right? Start of November, when markets absolutely skyrocket, specifically on the price of the US30. So I just want to bring this chart in a little bit. There we go, just so you guys can see price as well. So we saw price and pretty much the US30 skyrocket over November into December. At the close of December, we started to move a little bit into that sideways range, right? We opened up January in a lackluster volume space. That first week of January, as you guys remember, was pretty difficult trading conditions across the board, with pretty much sideways activity on US30. So we had that little bit of a sideways consolidation sort of area as we generally sometimes see, but now we're in a new state, right? And identified this sort of market structure already yesterday. And with what we saw in terms of the pull down yesterday, this definitely seems to be confirmed. This is currently a 4-hour time frame. I'm going to drop to a 1, just so you can see what's happening here. And that pull down we got yesterday afternoon, 5 p.m., right, respected our price action market structure almost to the pip, right? So there we go. There's a pull down, right? We only previously had 2 points of contact, 1, 2, right? While on the resistance area, we had a few more there that we could obviously count on. But then came down yesterday and confirmed that for us. So we're looking at this again from a long-term perspective. Once US30 starts to trend, and it trends hard, we can clearly see the trend is quite substantial. But even if we just have a look at that November trend, extremely strong. We're seeing a very similar type of degree of exposure here. We're really seeing a very strong ramp up here in buying activity. This might yield and provide us perfect opportunity to start getting long on this item over here. Right? Pretty much the same across the board, but just so you understand why we might be looking at longer term positions. Now, moving on to gold. Yesterday morning, right around about 7 a.m., we spoke about, while we were live, the possibility of gold breaking down right below that 2029, 2028 type level. This is where we obviously looked for some short positions. We obviously had gold collapse quite substantially, right, all the way down to that 2015 mark. We set up some pending orders, right, some buy limits at the 2016 to 2018 level because of a couple reasons, right? First thing, I want to zoom out and show you on the 4-hour, might even have to zoom out further. Just on a 4-hour time frame, you can see here all the way as far as the second week of December, we've got this diagonal support running through the price of gold, right? Now, interestingly, right, I also want you to have a look at that level there, right? So you've got a little bit of what looks like in a symmetrical triangle type situation, with gold breaking out and then coming back for that retest. Now, I missed this yesterday, right? I knew the level was there. We were aware of it. We've spoken about it in the past, but I decided on the copy trade to close up some of these buys prematurely, right? Again, that 2016, 2018 level was kind of really struggling to gain momentum above this level. We decided to close up, but still, we are still looking at some bullish activity long term here. Now, there's obviously some smaller levels we obviously do want to take advantage of. We are caught in a little bit of a channel this morning. So we're just having a look at how price sort of moves around this channel. We've made it a higher high this morning, and we just want to make sure that price has an intention to get above that. And we very well could see some sort of bull breakout market structure here, specifically that we've completed this market low. Right, so gold going to be very interesting this morning. A lot of opportunities on indices across the board. We've identified quite a few things that the team is busy looking at. So again, we're obviously brand new to the brand new copy trade system. We're obviously also posting signals in Telegram if you're a Premium Plus subscriber. And guys, if you're not a Premium Plus subscriber, right, let me just break this down for you, right? We obviously have DVDM markets free, right, where you come in, you learn, you see signals up to 500 pips a week and guaranteed profits. You're able to jump in onto the pounds for breakfast. You have a bunch of things you have access to, right? But trading really starts in Premium Plus, right? And we've structured it that our competitors are charging hundreds of dollars per month, right? Up to $300-400 a month for something even close to what we do. And even then, it doesn't compare. So $30 a month, it's an absolute steal. And what you get access to is unlimited trades, unlimited pips. You get access to our brand new copy trade system that our signals that we send can immediately be applied on your account. So whether you're traveling, whether you're at work, whatever it is that you're doing, right, you can be profiting with us in the markets. So that's just some of the benefits, but it goes so much further than that. We've also opened the Telegram group so that you never miss a signal. It's the same signal you can choose to take and trade at your own discretion, where copy trade is following a very, very specific risk portfolio, right? And it's designed long-term to build money, to build wealth. Copy trade is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not designed to double your account, triple your account. That's not how real trading works. We're growing a percentage over a day, over a week, over a month to hopefully build wealth over a period of time. Just so you understand. So if you're not a part of copy trade, you're not a part of our Premium Plus team, go hit the link down below, sign up. It is an absolute no-brainer. There's nothing else like it in the world right now, and you'll have a ton of fun. Other than that, the team's working super hard to deliver the best quality signals. I am running around a little bit today. I'm be running around between traffic, and I'm leaving probably about an hour from now. Before you even see this, I'll already be on the road. But I wish you guys all the best. As always, be safe, trade safe, and until I see you guys all a little bit later, have an amazing morning, and goodbye.